The following is a special presentation of the National Lacrosse League.
On January 18th, the New York Riptide made history, winning its first ever game thanks to this Dan McRae goal in overtime over Georgia. Tonight, they look to repeat that result at home in another East Division showdown. Tonight from Long Island, it's the rubber match between two divisional opponents, one of which is vying for the top spot in the East. We're nestled at NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, where for the final time this season, the Georgia Swarm square off against the New York Riptide. We find ourselves in week 15 of the season. New England won their fourth game in a row earlier tonight, beating Philly 9-7. In the North, Toronto has won 4 of the last 5. Out west, the Rush have captured 3 of the last 4. Georgia is a game out of first in the East, and if New York falls tonight, they will be eliminated for the playoffs in their expansion season. Welcome inside Nassau Coliseum with former Cornell standout and NLL champion Mitch Blau. I'm Dave Leno. Danny Wexelman will join us shortly. Mitch, Georgia is the only team New York has defeated in year one this year. The last time they played, which was 3 games ago, New York outscored Georgia 6-3 in that game. Tonight they face one of the top transition teams in the league.
Yeah, Georgia is so deadly in that second quarter, and that's what happened last time these teams played. The Riptide were able to get out to a lead, and then in that second quarter, the Swarm poured in goal after goal as that transition really sparked up. So they're going to have to limit that, and but they know they have beat this team and they can do it again.
Let's rewind back to that January 18th game. In fact, the lone victory for the New York Riptide over Georgia. In that game, Georgia was up 10-6 in the fourth quarter. New York ended the game with a 7-2 run.
You see number 4, Dan Lomas. He put the team on his back. He had 4 outside shots to bring them back within striking distance. And then with just 1.7 seconds left, Gail Thorpe, Coach Reggie's son, scores the tying goal. But ultimately, it was the captain who puts the team on his back, bowls his way to the net, and scores the game winner to get the franchise's first win in history.
That was Dan McRae's lone goal on the season, and head coach Reggie Thorpe told us he's been one of the most consistent defenders for this team.
Yeah, Dan McRae, he is a true leader in this league. He's won the Champions Cup just last year with Calgary. He's done everything in this league, so to have him be that calming presence, knowing the highs and lows, that's something that Coach Thorpe turns to every day in the locker room as they struggle to find their rhythm in this league.
On the other side of the floor, Dan Lomas put the team on his shoulders last weekend in Rochester, scoring 6 goals. He has been such a spark plug on offense for the Riptide.
Yeah, this is a guy who's been trying to find a home in this league, and he has found a great home with the New York Riptide. He's done everything. He's been a fourth quarter hero for the Riptide, clawing back into games. So he's, again, going to be someone they turn to right away to make sure that they're doing a great job of coming back, but also staying with leads in games.
And with more on Dan Lomas, here's Danny Wexelman.
I caught up with Dan after his 6-goal game in Rochester, and I asked him, do you feel like this is your comeback season? And he said, yeah, but the box I care more about on the score sheet is games played. He said, you never know when it's going to be your last, and he thought his last was in Vancouver. So who's been his biggest cheerleader this season? Well, that would be Dan McRae. Not only do the two work out together, they work together and commute together. And it was Dan McRae who told Reggie Thorpe, hey, we got to get this guy on our team. So how did Dan McRae and Dan Lomas meet? Well, that would be Georgia's Alex Krepinski. He introduced the two a few years ago. So now when those two guys are commuting home together, they'll call Alex on the phone. So it's like they're all together riding home. And it just goes to show you guys how tight-knit this lacrosse community really is. Dave.
Thank you very much, Danny. This Georgia team, Mitch, is coming off a victory against Vancouver. Prior to that, they lost a thriller in overtime, 18-17 to Calgary. For this team, Shane Jackson seemingly has been putting up hat tricks every game.
Yeah, the only time he didn't score a hat trick was against us last time. So Shane Jackson is absolutely deadly, shooting almost 25%. That means 1 out of every 4 shots goes in the net. So they are going to have to limit Shane Jackson's touches tonight if they want to have success.
And another focal point on offense as well. Lyle Thompson possesses some of the best stick skills in the game.
Yeah, Lyle Thompson is just one of the most electric players. His balance, his ability to get to the net under pressure. We've seen it against the Riptide twice. He's put the team on his back late in the game to bring them back into the games, and he's just a player that I don't care if you're a brand new lacrosse fan or someone who's followed the sport for a long time, he's a guy you're going to want to watch.
It's game number 13 of the season. As if the Riptide can put together a consistent 60-minute performance with a run from the outset, they'll have a good chance to capitalize tonight as the Long Island Railroad pulls into Hempstead Station. The face-off between the Riptide and Swarm is coming up next. Back live at NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, where it's the rubber match between the New York Riptide and the Georgia Swarm. In fact, these teams faced each other just 3 games ago. Here's the inactive report brought to you by BetMGM. For Georgia, one of their transition players, Ryan McSpadden, is out, along with one of their better offensive players, Jordan Hall, who's collected 10 goals this year. Jean-Luc Chetner is out as well for the New York Riptide, has 11 goals this season. And Jake Fox, who's only played 2 games this year. Mitch, take us through your keys to tonight's game.
For Georgia, they're going to want to spread out the scoring, make sure everyone gets on the board. In New York, it's simple. Limit the Swarm possessions and take away that second quarter transition.
Let's send it downstairs to Danny Wetzelman with the birthday boy, Cody Radzowitz. Danny.
Cody, we wanted to wish you a happy birthday first before we started. And I think, yeah, you're welcome. You got it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. I think one of your birthday wishes came true already with your contract extension.
Yeah.
We know what happened the last time you all played Georgia at home. What are the keys to success tonight?
We just got to play our game. It's really about us. It's our 3rd time playing them, so we're really focused on knowing the personnel and just going out there and just playing really hard and gritty. So we're excited.
Cody, thank you.
Thank you.
Dave?
Danny, thank you very much. Ed Como's done a fabulous job with this Georgia team. They started out 4-0, but right now come into this game just a game out of first place in the East, just trailing New England, who earlier today beat Philadelphia 9-7. Ready for the face-off here. It's McIntosh against Woodall, Georgia in yellow, and we're underway tonight here on Long Island. Suter going for the loose ball along with Lyle Thompson in front of the New York bench, and an early call will be in favor of New York. There's a look at Reggie Thorpe. He has stuck with this team. He says the leadership has been spot on by Dan McRae. The transition game, Mitch, has gotten better as the season has progressed despite the 1-11 record.
Well, the word that Cody Radzowitz said is gritty, and that's a word that Reggie Thorpe has repeated to us many times on our calls, and that's what he wants to see. They want to keep grinding, keep chipping away, and make sure they're fighting to the last whistle in all of these games.
It was a good look inside for Connor Kelly. Keep an eye on Bullet. He has been great against the New York Riptide. In fact, in the last game, he came up with some sensational stops, especially in the tail end of that second half when New York was surging. Ranigan picking up the loose ball here. On the left-hand side, it will be Goa Abrams making his second start. Here's Ranigan down the length of the floor. Blazes past one. It goes off the pipe for John.
John Ranigan, former teammate of the year on Georgia Swarm, so he had a great opportunity to score in overtime against this team the first time. Look for him to continue pushing transition tonight.
Mitch, Lyle Thompson, wearing number 4 for Georgia, has scored 7 goals in 2 games against New York. I know it's a tough task, but how do you stop Lyle tonight and his momentum throughout the game?
Like you said, that is a very difficult task. I mean, the key thing is just putting a lot of pressure on him and making sure you limit his touches. If you can limit the amount of time he gets the ball, that's a good thing because he's so dangerous and creative once it's in his stick.
It was a backhand pass down low. We may get an early call here as Suter's having some extracurriculars. Another look at this Ranigan chance, though.
Ranigan just put that on the outside of the pipe there. See Andrew Suter trying to rough up Brian Cole there, get him into a little action there. Maybe get the crowd into it early. I like that. Unfortunately, he's the only one going to the box. Brian Cole didn't take the bait there.
Here's our first call. So he'll go in with a slash here. Andrew Suter, one of those guys getting the contract extension along with Cody Radzowitz. Suter's been all over the floor in particular. Defensive side has that tenacity along with that forecheck.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience in this league. He knows what to do. He plays well on special teams. So he's a guy they're excited to have back for a few more years.
Here's Georgia on the man up here. They go behind the cage to Jackson this time. Keep an eye on Lyle Thompson in possession here. Thompson over the top of that twister there, denied by Goa Abrams, who was strong from the outset in the New England game. In fact, that was a 5-4 game here at halftime. New York led 2 games ago. The last one at home, in fact. Here's Stotts on this left-hand side on the power play. Behind the cage to Jackson again. As Mitch documented, did not score in the last minute. Jackson once more over the top. It does not go in. Abrams gets just enough.
What a save by Abrams. I think his jersey flailing just got enough of that. That hit the crossbar there. but Shane Jackson with the pump fake waits him out. Great save there by Go Abrams. That's something that you got to be really excited about if you're Joe Smith, the defensive coach for the New York Riptide.
Alex Bouquet started the previous game against Rochester, that tail end of the back-to-back. Short-handed, here's Saunders, who was just signed by this team. Behind the back, a good look, but it went wide there from Tyson Gibson, the #1 overall pick. Pat Saunders with this team, his 160th game paid. He's an 11th-year veteran in the league, and he's put together some great seasons.
Yeah, back in 2015 and 2016, almost 68-point and a 76-point season, respectively. So he's been a little up and down in terms of his scoring, but again, having that consistent presence of a guy who can score in this league is key.
Here's Lyle Thompson. The sidewinder is wide as New York is trying to kill off this man advantage. 19 seconds to go on the power play. Wide angle shot deflected once more by Go Abrams. Stops for the loose ball. It's Lyle Thompson, a bit of Cody Radzowitz, who Danny documented right to start this game. And what a job by Cody there to fend it off to Ranigan. And it's John Wagner who will get it back on the return there past Wiedemann. And it was Wagner that time who made the nice play to deny Georgia.
Yeah, Wagner's a guy that Coach Thorpe talked about on our call this week. He was a guy who came into camp and looked pretty good, but you know, they weren't sure where he was going to fit in. He has been an absolute contributor on the defensive end and also in transition for the Riptide. And
we're even strength here as Suter is out of the box. Kelly will just dump it in here. 3 seconds to go. There was 5 seconds on that shot clock there. And Kelly just sends it over. Another look here at this great stop by Abrams.
Yeah, that big arm and jersey got just enough of the ball to stop that thing from going in.
Cross-floor pass again to the top here. It is high from Brian Cole, who played 1 of 2 games against New York due to injury. Here's Miles Jones with a chance. Plenty of breakaways from him this year. He's the subject of our halftime feature with Devin Kinney, so stick around for that at the break of this one. No score to begin play here. The third and final meeting of the regular season between Georgia and New York. New York's in blue here at home. There's the seal there by Lomas. Shot by Gibson is high and wide of Pullen's cage. Fresh 30 there as Lomas going to the corner board. Again, it was Brendan Bomberry, the cousin of Tyson, who couldn't get that. It's McCardle on a 2v1. McCardle behind the back. Saunders, he scores! In his debut, Pat Saunders with the Riptide, and New York takes the 1-0 lead.
And what a feed by Kieran McCardle there. The behind the back, he draws the defender, throws that behind the back to Saunders, and Saunders had a whole lot of net to shoot at. Pullen almost got back in time for it, but what a finish there into that empty net. Great play there. Watch McCardle draw the defender, put it over right in Saunders' stick so he could one-time that thing, and he puts it in the empty net. Excellent work there. And how about Dan Lomas on that forecheck getting that ball back? Man, what a play to dig that out. That's the gritty type play that Coach Thorpe is looking for from these guys.
How about that for a signing and scoring right off the bat for New York against Georgia, the 125th career goal for Pat Saunders. Keep in mind he played 2 games this year for Rochester. Drafted 6 overall in 2008. 6'1", 194. On the right, here's McCardle. McCardle pass call there, got the seal by Saunders, but Pullen had other thoughts as he scoops it up for Georgia. The quick outlet here to Wiedemann. It's Adam Wiedemann seeing the change here from Georgia, led by their head coach Ed Como. It is 5th year leading the Swarm. Remember, this team captured the title in 2017. Stotts behind the back there as Jackson is robbed there by Goa Abrams.
And I remember that 2017 season well. That was my final in the NLL, playing with Georgia. Pretty exciting and wild year for us.
Lomas got the seal that time by Wagner. Thought about it, but couldn't cradle it inside the zone of Georgia. It was kicked out to the middle of the floor here. And Tyson Gibson, playing both sides, has to scoop it up amid Brendan Bomberry. And he'll get it down the length and just dump it in the Georgia zone.
And that's good, smart lacrosse. He knows he's got an 8-second, so he's got to get that ball over. Smart decision there by 19 and dumping it to the far corner.
That will take us to our first time out of the game with 9:02 remaining in the first. New York leading 1-0 thanks to a goal by Pat Saunders. How about this look by McCardle? Behind the back, Saunders beats Pullen. New York strikes first. The NLL on MSG2 and BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 50% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Riding into Hempstead here on Long Island, Dave Leno, Mitch Belisle, Danny Wexelman, and our entire crew. New York has the 1-0 lead. Thanks to the goal by Pat Saunders, one of the new acquisitions for this team, and it continues the build for the New York Riptide in year one.
Yeah, you pick up a free agent and he scores in his first shift. You can't do much better than that, so they got to be excited to see him already making waves for this new team.
That was a terrific defensive play by Dan McCray on Lyle Thompson. And here's Wagner again, who you spoke about. In fact, Reggie Thorpe told us as well that he was a guy that started out on the practice squad and then has worked his way to playing. And ever since coming from Marquette in his rookie season in the box game, he has flourished.
Yeah, and he is a guy who won a championship with the Chesapeake Bayhawks in the MLL this summer, so he experienced the taste of winning. He's got a twin brother that plays over in Philly, so he's been doing a great job of settling in and really making his mark on, and his athleticism is what's allowed him to carry this defense on the Riptide.
That was wide by Jackson on the feed from Miles Thompson right down the middle, so New York has to clean that up from not allowing a guy to go straight at Goa Abrams right down Broadway.
Yeah, they want to keep him out of the middle and really low creases, which is where Shane Jackson operates quite a bit on the left side of Go Abrams. So they need to do a good job of making sure they limit that.
Here's New York on offense with Dan Loomis. Got the seal by McCardle. McCardle will get it back on the pick and roll. McCardle with the shot. Pullen said no. Tutton comes in to help out as well, and it's cleaned up by Georgia. And here they are in transition, but that went flying over the head of Kaysen Tarbell.
And McCardle, he got Pullen to drop with a little hitch move and then shot it back low again. If he had kept that upstairs, I think the Pullen was low enough, he could have gone for the top corners. But look for that little hitch step. You look at the goalie, see what he's given up, and then take that secondary shot. That's a great move for the offensive players to freeze the goalie.
Lomas gets a seal by McCardle. Almost goes 5-hole on Pullen, and Pullen gets just enough there as they're going low on Mike Pullen to start this game. And Bomberry will have it in possession for the Swarm. Pullen entering this one at a 10.29 goals against average. Good for middle of the pack in the NLL. Miles Thompson, low shot, steered aside Abrams. On this left-hand side, it's clean up though. Zed Williams almost with a chance. Lyle Thompson regains it, 25 seconds to go on the shot clock. Miles Jones on defense. On the left-hand side, Stotts. Jab step around Tyson Gibson. Good help by Suter. They were looking down low for Williams. They go the cross-floor pass on the opposite side, and again, Abrams comes up big to make a stop, robbing that 5-hole there on one of the Thompson brothers. It looked like, no, let's check that. It was Zach Miller that time.
A lot of braids out there with Zach Miller and both Thompson brothers with the braids. It can certainly, you see the hair flying as they're dodging through the middle.
That was wide there by Saunders, our lone goal scorer tonight. No shot there by Gibson on the bounce shot on a hop. Trying to clean it up is Travis Longboat. That was a good stick check that time by Leo Storos. Goes over the head of Saunders, and in transition, here's the captain, Jordan McIntosh on a 2v1. McIntosh throws it over there to Jackson, who could cradle it. It's scooped up, though, by Wagner in the quarter board before Cole can get there. Here's these quick outlets that New York has been working on in transition, now getting their offense out there.
Yeah, this first quarter is a little bit less transition because both teams have that long change, so there's less time to get the advantage. It's really the second quarter where both teams they're closer to the other team's goal. That's where you can really look for guys flying out that front offensive door to get the advantage.
Beautiful stick check there in the back. It was Wiedemann for Georgia. Pullen helping out. Wiedemann not once, but twice there on Dan Lomas. And the shot clock violation on New York. Let's take a look at these saves tonight. We begin with Pullen here, Mitch. And on the opposite side, here's Goa Abrams stopping that bounce shot. Again, a terrific start to this game for Goa Abrams. Second start for him for New York. In fact, he started a game last year for Philadelphia, and he won that game over the Swarm. McCardle, diagonal pass over to Kelly on this right-hand side. Got the seal in front. Pullen got a piece going towards his run. And it's stolen away there by Saunders to Suter. He's going to come off, though, and wants an offensive player out there on the change. Kelly, and around Tutton that time. Thomas will have it on this right-hand side as Saunders to his right as well. Cross-floor pass, but the Riptide weren't ready for that. And there's the turnover, leading to a chance on a 3-on-2 the opposite way. Tarbell, low shot. Abrams cleans up. Rebound, though, and it's wide.
And that was Connor Sellers. He is actually the leading scorer at Belmont Abbey. So he plays defense for the Swarm, has been a defender in the NL for a long time. But when he was playing his Division II NCAA lacrosse, he was scoring a lot of goals.
He was searching for his first goal tonight, Sellers, in his 4th year with Georgia. On this left-hand side, Zed Williams down. Right over Ranigan this time, Zed Williams looked for the sidewinder there, went down low to Miller. It's a good check, though, nonetheless, by Ethan Schott. Really much better play on the defensive side for the Riptide.
Yeah, this has been their MO. This first quarter, they come out with that fire, they jump out, they play physical. They need to keep this up. That's always the key, is keeping that up. Can you maintain that intensity for 4 quarters?
Sealed there by Kelly on the inside. Radzowitz getting time on. Oh, there's the crease dive there, but Pullen says no. And Pullen comes up with a big stop on Longboat there. But how about this start by Goa Abrams, keeping the clean sheet for the New York Riptide there. Stopping Brandon Bomberry and also Connor Sellers. Goa Abrams starring for New York. Action from around the National Lacrosse League this season on BR Live. Choose an annual, monthly, or per game pass. For more info, visit nll.com/BR Live. Riptide are leading 1-0 over the Swarm. Downstairs, Danny Wexelman with head coach Richie Thorpe. Danny.
Coach, I know how much emphasis you put on film sessions each week. What was the focus for Georgia?
Just not giving up transition goals. I mean, they're a powerful offense there. In 5-on-5, we feel pretty good that we can hang with them, but we certainly can't give up transition goals.
And new guy Pat Saunders getting it done on offense right away. How do you look to him to contribute for the rest of the season?
I would just try and get a spark everywhere. You know, guys are playing hard, guys are playing together. It's only 12 minutes in the game. We got to keep it up.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Dave.
Thanks, Danny. That January 18th game, remember, Georgia was leading in the 4th quarter. Then they ended that game, the Riptide, on a 7-2 run on that Dan McRae goal. We documented from the outset of that February 15th game in Duluth. It was a 14-9 win for the Swarm, even though New York outscored this Georgia team 6-3 in the second half. They were a much better team in half number 2, but they looked good from the outset tonight, New York, Mitch.
Yeah, that first quarter was very similar to this one. The Riptide were all over the yellow gloves. They were doing a great job of disrupting their offense. The key thing is, can they keep that up as that transition ramps up in the second quarter?
I was wide there by Saunders. He's the lone goal scorer in this game, playing in his first game for the New York Riptide, a recent acquisition. McCardle, diagonal pass there, almost carried right behind Pullen to Dan Lomas. And here's Sellers for this Georgia team. So Georgia's coming off a 14-7 road win at Vancouver last weekend. Thompson and Jackson, it was Lyle with hat tricks in that game. Stotts 2 goals and 7 assists. Stotts has been quite the assist man this year. Chance the opposite way for McCardle and company. Past Thompson. McCardle with space shoots, and Pullen with a relatively easy stop to his left.
And they've been running McCardle out of the D door so that way he plays some defensive shifts and can push transition opportunities just like that. In this sport, for fans that maybe aren't familiar with box lacrosse, you wholesale change all your defensive players off and bring all your offensive players on when the ball changes possession. So something that's a little bit different from field lacrosse.
Stop there to Rob Bryant. Goal from Goa Abrams. A long outlet to Dan McRae, who had that game-winning goal against Georgia in overtime. Got the seal. McRae scores! Once again, he beats Poland in Georgia. 2-0, thanks to the captain.
Dan McRae's sweet spot right in front of Poulin. He brings that one back, short side, pulls that off the pipe and in. That's about as good of a shot as you can get. Last time he shot against Poulin, he put it under the opposite glove. Maybe Poulin had the scout from the one shot previously, thought he was going to go far side. Nice job by Dan McRae, capitalizing in transition. He is fired up, getting the team going here.
Here's Danny with more on McRae.
I caught up with Mike Poulin earlier this week, guys, and I asked him about Dan McRae. He said he's proud of him for coming into this role. He was the right guy for the job to lead this expansion team. Poulin said he hated to see that overtime goal get by him in the last game, but thought it was very serendipitous. This time, I'm sure, not so much.
And how about this, Danny? That's 2 goals against Georgia this year in the 3rd game played against the Swarm. Much-needed goal there for the Riptide, up by 2 on a lethal Georgia team that's known to mount some huge comebacks this season. Lomas, cross-floor pass, was looking for Gibson. He was derailed by Wiedemann that time, scooped up by the Swarm here in yellow as they're searching for their 7th win this year. How about the start of the year for this team? They started out 4-0, then it's been sort of a topsy-turvy season for the 2017 champion Georgia.
Yeah, they've had ups and downs. Brian Cole was injured for a lot of the beginning or after that initial streak, so he brings a lot to their left side. Having him back is a huge piece of that offense. They're glad to have him out there tonight. Look for him to make a big push as they head down in the playoff race.
Radzowitz there on the turnover. We'll just wait, and we'll have it on the long change there. I think the forecheck, Mitch, by the Riptide has looked really good, been advantageous for this club getting some turnovers.
Yeah, they have been all over the Swarm's hands, both in their offensive zone when they turn the ball over and also in the defensive zone, making everything difficult for them.
Longboat with the seam. Longboat the crease dive there, but Poland to his right had it. And it's smothered by Joel White behind the cage as he'll come out on a change here.
And Poulin goes to the bench in this last 10 seconds. A lot of teams will pull their goalie and try to get a quick strike 6-on-5.
Stott, 6-on-5, Lyle Thompson. 2 seconds to go. They'll have to Harry Miller back to Thompson. Can't get it up before the horn. How about that shutout quarter by New York, leading 2-0 after 1.
Their defense was all over the Swarm. They were in the gloves. They jumped over picks. It's exactly what Coach Smith was looking for. Can they maintain that for 3 more quarters?
The night was started. McCardle behind the back, feeding Pat Saunders in his debut, and that was followed up by the captain, Dan McCray. Scored a goal like this against Georgia on the 18th of January. Does it again tonight. 2-0 New York after 1. Start of the second quarter as New York is leading 2-0 over Georgia thanks to goals by Saunders and McCray in this game. Winall and McIntosh on for the face-off again as New York is looking to take the season series over Georgia. We thank everybody for tuning into this NLL Game of the Week across Facebook and Twitter, also on BR Live at MSG2 for this colossal matchup in the East Division. Again, New England has been red hot. The Black Wolves have won the last 4. They are ahead by 1 game over the Swarm. Good spin move there by McIntosh, feeding it on the left. Wiedemann went low. Abrams has looked good. In fact, Mitch, it's just the second time this year Georgia was held scoreless in a quarter.
Yeah, that's hard to do with all the potent offense that they have. But that's a big credit to Coach Smith and the defense making those adjustments. As you mentioned, watching that film and continuing to get better week in and week out. The other thing, when you watch this game, there's so much of that pick and roll action, the 2-man game. What I think they've done so much better is playing that 2-man game, either firing out over the top of the pick or shooting out underneath the bottom of the pick, so that way there's no advantage and you can't let players hide behind the pick and shoot over the top, which has plagued them earlier in the season.
Not just that 2-man game, but also that slip and seal for New York has worked out. Jackson with the seam, went back post, but wide. McCray, a mid-2, escapes out of the pressure. Dan McCray with some space, one of the goal scorers. Man out the front door here. The shot, that was caromed off the stick of Storos that time to derail Saunders of New York. Get an opportunity the opposite way with Cole.
And that's Pat Saunders coming at the Odor first. Because he's a lefty, he's the closest guy to the goal in his strong hand. So having that new look out of the front door, that's a good benefit for them. And that's why having Pat Saunders there, that's a whole new look, having a speedster that can finish coming out the door first.
Abrams stopping Miles Thompson that time. That was a great D-shift there by Tyson Bomberry as well as John Wagner. It's Wagner in possession here. He'll come off. Dan Ranigan was also one of the other defensive players on to stop Georgia that time. Gibson, a man out of the front door again. Gibson will get it back on the return. Gets the seal here by Kelly. Guts to go the right side to McCardle. He went low. It didn't fool Poulin, though. Look for these long outlets by Poulin, and very quick tonight.
So much like the Riptide have the advantage of Pat Saunders coming out of the door, you have the right-handed players coming out of the Swarm door. You're talking about Lyle Thompson. You're talking about Miles Thompson. You're talking about some of the best goal scorers in the world. So that's why they score so many goals in this second quarter, because they have those righties flying out, creating that transition spark.
Terrific defensive play there by Miles Thompson to get past Brian Cole. Miles Jones. Jones passed one way. Jones with the opportunity. His foot was in the crease as he's searching for his first goal in a Riptide uniform. Here's Tutton the opposite way for Georgia. Miles Jones is going to get several breakaways as this game continues. He's done it in the previous games for New York. It's his 5th game played for the Riptide.
The thing I liked about that, he caused the turnover that got him that opportunity.
Brannigan on this left-hand side defensively. That was the pick there by Lyle Thompson. It was illegal, deemed the officials. And we'll go back the opposite way with shot. That long pass, but it was turned over. And let's go downstairs. Hold on, Danny, as Suter was going down. And Danny, we'll check in with you now.
Hey, thanks, Dave. So I talked to Miles earlier this week. You just mentioned him. And I asked him, how are you adjusting to the indoor game? He's like, I love being thrown into the fire. I love being challenged. And something that I'm working on, being a threat in the transition.
Danny, thank you very much. He has been a stalwart in that transition game, something that Thorpe has wanted to work on. That was wide by Connor Kelly. Skying up there was Saunders. It caroms right into Pullen's stick. Here's that long outlet we talked about with Wiedemann, who caroms it on a bounce.
Nice job handling that by Wiedemann. You mentioned the transition by Miles Jones. He's pushed it and pushed it. Now he's just got to find that goal scorer's touch. These goals are a lot smaller than the field nets, and it takes a little bit more of that nuanced touch to learn how to score against these padded up goalies.
That was fortuitous there as Jackson got it back, and it will carry him out to the middle of the floor here for New York. As Dan McCray, the captain, wisely wants to slow down the pace.
Yeah, this has been an up and down quarter already. And this is when guys start getting gas, and that's when mistakes happen. So being smart, getting your offense on, letting them work 5-on-5, something that both teams want to do here.
It's a diagonal pass to Saunders, one of the goal scorers tonight. Back up top to Gibson. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. It goes past Lomas. In fact, Dan Lomas now took the point lead for the New York Riptide thanks to an assist on the Saunders goal. That was the first goal tonight. McCray had the second. Jackson will get it back off of the boards here. Thompson has it on this left-hand side. It's Williams that went off of the bar there from Zach Miller. Nearly 5 minutes have gone in this second quarter.
That's the 3rd post the Swarm have hit this quarter, so Marshall Abrams, he definitely is thanking his lucky pipes there.
Well, Thompson there was stopped by Johnston. We're going to get a call, it looks like, on Scott Johnston. Delayed call here as Bullen comes out at 6-on-5. Georgia will go on the power play after our media timeout. Stotts down low, 6v5, keep in mind. Stotts will get it back on the return. It's touched up by Suter, and New York has it, but this Georgia team will go on the man up after our timeout. And here's why we're going to get a call here against Georgia. There's Johnston inside here. Keep an eye on your left-hand side of your screen. So we'll take a timeout. Georgia goes on the man up after this. If you love the NLL, you'll love all the highlights on our social channels. Get the best goals, saves, and action during the games and during the week on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and NLL.com. Reggie Thorpe and his team up 2-0 in the midst of our second quarter. Scott Johnston is in the box with a push from behind. So this Georgia team, once more, Mitch, will go up on the man advantage. It was 1 penalty kill so far in the game by New York Glove for the box defensively.
Yeah, that was a successful penalty kill. To do that against this potent offense, that's a good start. You can only give them so many penalties. That was one thing that Coach Thorpe talked about, wanting to stay out of the box because of how deadly they are with the outside shots.
It's a twister there by Lyle Thompson, and Abrams said no. And here's McCray on this kill. A man out of the front door again, and the shot there is denied by Pullen. Looked like it was Dan Lomas who came out that O-door for New York.
Yeah, nice opportunity there. They actually had a 3-on-1, but they found Lomas, the lone streaker. And Pullen didn't know where that rebound was. I don't know if he knew where that one went.
Stotts at the top here. It's Miller. They'll get Jackson on this right-hand side. Miller thought about going behind the back, nearly lost it there. Rannigan on the defensive work. How about John Rannigan against his former team? It's fought off there by Miller. Also helping out there was McCray. It's a 2v1 this time. This is trouble. Jackson, they're going to wave it off here. The shot clock violation on Georgia. McCray handle this on the outlet here. Then And in front of Leo Storos, that time as McCray will come off on a change. This is another good kill by New York, under 45 seconds now for the man advantage for Georgia.
Dave, if you had told me halfway through the second quarter that Pat Saunders and Dan McCray were the only two on the score sheet tonight.
Yeah, go figure, especially without Jean-Luc Chetner as well, as 11 goals this year. It's a D-heavy lineup, as Reggie Thorpe told us coming into this game.
They're running 6 offensive players with McCardle kind of playing that transition-like role, getting back out of the D door.
Stotts, a bouncing shot, saved there by Abrams again. 10 seconds to go in this kill here for New York. It's Suter coming off that contract extension. A lobbing pass towards the corner. Longboat will reset. Remember, he had his first career hat trick, Travis did, against New England, and that will do it for that penalty for Georgia as Johnson comes scurrying out of the box here. McCray on the right-hand side. 2 successful penalty kills in the game for the expansion New York Riptide. A great start tonight. It is off the pipe there by Tyson Gibson, the Robert Morris product. A chance the opposite way with Wiedemann. Wiedemann looking inside for Zed Williams. Didn't get the shot off there. Good defensive work by Radzowitz in transition, jetting back. Another opportunity for Stotts past Johnston, who was just in the box. Here come the O players out there for Georgia. It's Shane Jackson. 3rd in the league in points coming into this one. Great shot goes into the net, and another good stance by New York. Let's go back, Mitch, first to the disallowed goal for Georgia here.
And look at the shot clock. You can see it just behind it. Hits that 0 before that pass goes back over. So great call by the refs and understanding where the shot clock was.
Still a 2-0 game if you're just joining us, on goals by Saunders and McCray for the New York Riptide. The season series is split at 1 apiece. New York's in blue. Gibson on this left-hand side. Gibson down low again. Poland has it towards his left there to stop Connor Kelly. Here's that long outlet, though. Over to Joe White.
And Gibson threw that over to Kelly. Kelly was on his wrong side. When we say wrong side, if you see you get across the crease, it's difficult for a righty as he gets across to get a good angle with that shot. So Connor Kelly, despite being closer to the goal than Gibson, you can see Gibson takes his man here. He passes it over Connor Kelly. Connor Kelly has to reach all the way back across his body. So I might have liked to see Gibson take that himself there, but nice job getting that feed over and keeping his toes out of the crease by Connor Kelly.
Gibson has been great this year as well. The #1 overall pick from Robert Morris, the seal there for New York. It was a good stick check there by McIntosh, the captain. He'll get it. We're going to get a delayed call, it appears, coming up here on the floor.
And Pat Saunders, he missed the... Here, that pass got knocked away. He went for the over-the-head check on Jordan McIntosh, who may have flicked his head back a little bit. That'll always draw the referee's arm up.
Georgia's going to go on the power play yet again. They're 6v5 with Poland towards the bench. The shot there. How about Goa Abrams in this game to stop Shane Jackson there? New York still needs to touch it up here. Jackson on this right-hand side gets a player down low. Zed Williams again, stopped by Abrams. Man cutting inside his call. Touch up by Radzowitz and company. Boy, Goa Abrams has kept this New York team leading this game despite a man going inside the box. It will be Saunders, as Mitch was right on top of it. Goa Abrams, the story as well.
Yeah, Shane Jackson going cross crease. That doesn't happen very often, that the goalie's able to make it over there. He popped his foot across, and what a save.
Saunders in the penalty box. It will be the 3rd power play of the game for Georgia.
And that's a killer, because you never want to see your team go to the box on their offensive end. You can take a penalty if you're doing things on the defensive end trying to prevent goals, but when you're trying to score, you want to do everything you can to stay out of the box.
Stop by Abrams here. Miller behind the cage that time. Good forecheck there by the captain, Dan McCray. Watch Jackson on this right-hand side. Diagonal pass taken away by New York nicely.
Nice pickoff by Suter. Suter has had a heck of a season in terms of playing that low crease.
Suter from one end of the floor to the other. Wagner tried to get it to no avail. Suter still racing for it as it goes down towards the floor. And it's picked up there by Tarbell of Georgia, but one stick to it in this there by Andrew Suter, as one of the officials will get the stick over to the New York bench.
Unlike field lacrosse, you are allowed to play without your stick. So you saw after Suter dropped his stick, he tried to kick the ball forward. Just like hockey, you can keep playing as long as you don't hold players.
Thompson, again, steered aside by Goa Abrams. Under a minute to go with this man advantage. Reggie Thorpe has to keep his team out of the penalty box. Georgia is 5th in the NLL at a 53% success rate on power plays. That's low and wide. Looked like it was Miller that time for the Swarm. Cole keeping it on this side of the floor to Lyle Thompson. 40 seconds to go on the man up for Georgia. There's a low shot again. Abrams getting just a piece. A runner was inside the crease and will go back to New York after this timeout. 3:55 to go in the game. We have not got a goal scorer in this second quarter. Nonetheless, go Abrams, keeping this a clean sheet. Welcome back to Nassau Coliseum. New York is up 2-0 over Georgia. Now downstairs, Danny Wexelman with Georgia head coach Ed Como. Danny.
Coach Goa Abrams seems pretty adamant to not let anything by him tonight. I can hear you guys talking on the bench saying push the pace. What is the answer to his performance right now?
Well, he's playing great. I think we're out shooting him. We're playing really well, getting great opportunities. It's really about placing the ball. He's covered a lot of the net, and we just got to do a better job of that.
Coach, thank you. Dave.
Danny thanks Lomas with an opportunity. Here still on this shorthanded opportunity. 19 seconds to go on the man up for Georgia.
And you can see the panic in hear the panic in Eddie Como's voice as he watches while he's being interviewed by Danny as Dan Lomas catches that pass, beats Chad Tutton underneath and goes 1-on-0 with Poole and hits it off the pipe. So unlucky there for Lomas, but Coach Como, I think, was pretty pumped to finish that interview and let his defense know they can't let that happen shorthanded.
And they kill off yet another Georgia power play. That is the third one killed off in this game for this New York team. Mitch, they're coming in at 12th in the NLL at a 44% success rate on penalty kills. That's been a different story tonight.
Yeah, they got to keep this up, and the biggest thing is the easiest way to do that is stay out of the box.
Georgia, though, is going to get one right back with Lyle Thompson. And it's a 2-1 game.
How about that referee's call of the good goal? He had a great stance there, but you see number 94 with the big arms up. He had a good view of the crease, but Lyle Thompson is so electric. You can see he goes underneath, and once he's underneath, his balance is so good. He scores. Number 94 really getting the eyeballs on the crease, making sure his toes stay out, making sure his hands don't touch the crease before the ball goes in, and then signaling for the goal.
And for the 2017 MVP and champion, it's his 25th goal of the year. For that is all of the face-offs in this game. It was Sellers that time that took it instead of McIntosh, but there was the turnover, and Georgia has it in possession yet again, trying to tie it. Fournier on the defensive effort on this right. It's Jackson here. Back up to the top. It was mishandled. Miles Jones going for it along with Radigan on a 2v2 here. It's Jones. Jones towards the left wing here. He's going to wait on this long change and get his offensive players back out there onto the floor with 2:25 to go in our second quarter.
Regarding the faceoffs, I've played for Eddie Como teams. He is okay with losing faceoffs as long as you don't give up goals off of those faceoffs. So while the Swarm want to win some of them, he's all right as long as they're not giving up transition opportunities.
Gibson went low for Kelly, like a la Trevor Baptiste for Philadelphia. We've seen him score a couple times against the New York Riptide right off of faceoffs.
Yeah, with these short shifts, it's a fine balance between possessions and also just not giving up that transition.
Here's space again for Georgia. That was behind the back. And coming up on NLL at the half, huddle up with Devin Cady, the Riptide's Miles Jones, plus highlights and analysis of the first half, all coming up at NLL at the half. Long outlet here for New York. It's McRae. And a 2-1 game. Lyle Thompson got the last goal for Georgia. Man coming out of the front door here for the New York Riptide. It's Longboat, got the seal there from Radzowitz. That was clean according to the officials. It's Kelly on this left-hand side, got the seal again from Cody, the John Hopkins product, on this right now. It's McCardle past Sellers, looking for Longboat who went low, but that was stopped down in front there. Krepinczak cleaned up there for Georgia. Let's go back downstairs to Danny Wexelman.
No.
We'll get to Danny in a little bit here. Lyle Thompson goes wide that time. Cleaned up by the New York Riptide here. They're going to have an odd number rush the opposite way with Miles Jones. Jones right over to Bomberry looking for his first goal. Might have got a piece of the pipe in Poland as well.
Another pipe. You could hear that up here, that ping off the pipe. Both teams ringing it off the iron here.
Georgia has it here with 27 seconds to go in our first half, and you might get a timeout call soon on the floor.
Yeah, if the Riptide get the ball, I expect they'll call a timeout with the short clock, trying to get an offensive look, possibly pull Abrams.
Look, it went off the helmet there of Wagner. A fight for it in the quarter. 10 seconds to go. There's the shot clock, and a timeout going to be called by Reggie Thorpe. Right on it here with under 10 seconds to go in our first half. A chance for the New York Riptide to draw something up, but how about this coaching display as well from Reggie Thorpe, Marshall Abrams, and Joe Smith in this game, and the players to just display that tenacity, especially on the forecheck tonight against a top Georgia team.
Yeah, the thing that I'm always amazed by is how much they talk about statistics. They do so much analysis of the stats to understand what are their shooting percentages, who are the players that are doing the little things in between the whistles, getting up and down, the shots, the different opportunities they have. So looking at all these numbers to make those minute tweaks and adjustments, and it's paying off. You can see week in and week out they're getting better and better and better.
So a moment ago, Marshall Abrams, part of this coaching staff for Reggie Thorpe, drawing up this play.
And Dave, one thing to keep an eye on, I just saw Andrew Suter walking out the tunnel. I don't know if he was going with staff or maybe because they know, hey, they're going to get a look here and he wanted to get an early jump on getting some treatment, but just something to keep an eye on when we come back from halftime, looking for that number 11. He's a huge part of their defense.
Came into tonight with 106 loose balls. With 3 now, he jumps into third in the NLL. A +4 advantage on shots for Georgia, and here we go out of the timeout here. 7 seconds to go. It's a 6-on-5. Kelly on this left-hand side. Gibson, diagonal pass, opportunity, and Poland said no right at the end of our first half as Saunders gets denied.
Great look there. Saunders catches it, catches the Georgia defenseman trying to make a jump on it, goes underneath, and just can't get Poulin to open up that 5-hole.
It has been the theme for New York in this game, getting those easy opportunities. And here's Danny Wexelman with Goa Abrams.
Goa, just your second start of the season for the Riptide. What was your mentality when you knew you were going to start this game?
My mentality was to try to save everything that came at me, or try to at least. Just be game ready. Every time you were back up, be game ready.
Goa, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Dave?
Goa has looked strong between the pipes tonight. It's a Georgia team that was 0 for 3 on the power play. 1 goal at the half is the worst total in a half for the Swarm this season. It's the first half. It's their best scoring half as well for this New York Riptide, who are leading 2-1. A stop there by Poland. Lyle Thompson getting on the board as well. And after the first 30 minutes, it's a 2-1 New York lead. Welcome to NLL at the half on Long Island, where New York leads Georgia 2-1. As one of the sport's biggest stars, the name Miles Jones is synonymous with professional lacrosse, but until recently, Jones was unfamiliar to the indoor game. Devin Katie sat down with Jones to learn more about his decision to join the National Lacrosse League and what it means to play back home on Long Island.
My dad played basketball growing up. My uncle played basketball in college and the NBA, so that was my dream. 6th grade came around and we were playing football, and one of the dads had asked me, "Hey, what do you do in the spring?" I was like, "I play basketball, and that's what I love to do. And that's what I'm going to do." And, "Hey, you should play lacrosse." And I was like, "Oh, I've never heard of lacrosse," which is kind of ironic because I grew up in Huntington.
And that started here on Long Island. You're from here.
Yep.
And now you're playing for the Riptide. And how's it been so far?
My first time actually suiting up, my home debut was, it was eye-opening for sure. I think my first 3 shifts, I thought, my neck hurt a little bit about the ball was flying all over the place. But, in that second and third quarter, I got more comfortable. I started, hearing the communication, seeing the game slow down a little bit.
Did you have a lot of people watching in the crowd?
So I had probably 25, people, mom, sister, friends from high school. Coaches from high school, my guidance counselor.
Your guidance counselor?
My guidance counselor and my sister's guidance counselor were both there.
And what'd they think?
Well, the funny thing is when I got off the floor, got my suit back on, went up to see my mom. She said, "Are you okay?" I was like, Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, you guys are so aggressive. Like she hasn't seen, indoor lacrosse being played.
Right.
So just, seeing me come home and play in front of a home crowd was probably really special for her too.
I want to kind of switch gears and talk about your presence just in the pro lacrosse world in general, actually. When you think of pro lacrosse, a lot of people think of Miles Jones.
It's actually kind of funny because, being a young kid, you're very one focus. And when I got to Duke, my focus was, hey, I'm a freshman, I want to play. And by my sophomore year, I kind of had this, responsibility to kind of carry this torch that was handed to me without anyone saying so. It was, hey, look, I look up to you, all these kids, young kids of, all races look up to me. And especially when I see your kids, minority kids look up to me, hey, listen, I started playing lacrosse because of you. They tell you things about yourself that you kind of forget. Hey, I saw you have these pair of sneakers, they're so cool. And you kind of think to yourself, wow, like you pay attention that much. So then I kind of, adopted this responsibility to inspire young kids. And sometimes I do it in different ways, whether that's showing kids who I am outside of lacrosse. Sometimes I show kids how I prepare for seasons. Sometimes I show kids just that I'm a regular human. Like I like to play video games just as much as kids do. But instead of just showing kids that I play video games, I like say, hey, listen, I do this for 2.5 hours. This is how I prepare my body to be a successful athlete before I do this. So I'm human just like you. I'm a big kid just like you. But I have a responsibility to perform at top of my ability, so I get this done.
So it's a responsibility that you've embraced.
Absolutely, it's something that just kind of I've kind of just embodied and embraced over the time.
What's next for you? What can we expect from Miles Jones in the NLL?
Going forward, I think that if I can solidify myself in this league as someone who's on the rise and a potential superstar in this league, even get more kids of color to play indoor lacrosse, I think that my job is done.
A terrific start tonight for the New York Riptide. They're up 2-1 over the Georgia Swarm. High atop Nassau Coliseum with Mitch Belisle, I'm Dave Leno. So far, 3 successful penalty kills by New York tonight. Goa Abrams also over 20 stops in this game.
Yeah, Goa Abrams has led the way. Their defense has locked it down. They're knocking out the 2v2 or the two-man games, and the Swarm is getting limited by this Riptide defense.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights for this game. It has been a strong start from the outset from New York in this game. McCardle on this nifty backhand pass over to Saunders in his debut scoring.
Yeah, welcome to the Riptide, Pat Saunders. And then it was Dan McRae, the captain, who made the big play against the Swarm for their first win, coming back and putting the team back on his shoulders.
But it was Lyle Thompson on the opposite side after a strong start of this game from Goa Abrams.
Yeah, Goa Abrams has stood huge. He's made some huge saves he probably shouldn't have made, but then the defense of the Riptide really locking down, and part of that is because they have so many possessions.
First half stats presented by BetMGM, nearly equal in shots in this game. How about Alex Woodall with a strong start tonight?
Yeah, 5-0 on the faceoffs. That gives them 5 extra opportunities to have the ball in their sticks. Their offense is finding a little bit more rhythm here, and their defense is playing absolute shutdown D.
It is the lowest scoring output of the season through one half of play for the Georgia Swarm in this game. They'll look to make some halftime adjustments. New York on the flip side looking for their second win of the season against Georgia. Continue to ride along with us here as New York is winning 2-1 over Georgia. Back in a moment.
The NLL on MSG2 and BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Here on Long Island, it's the New York Riptide off to a strong start in this game, leading the 2017 champions 2-1. Now time for the NLL Place of the Month, presented by Geico.
That goal, has the ball again, now to the net, Doby, behind the back and scores! Jane Doby's second of the night, and it's a pretty one.
Can't get a shot off, great play by Merrill, empty net, will it go in? Oh, he scored! Are you kidding me? A 200-foot goal from the captain, Brody Merrill. And the rush. Heading on down on a 2-on-2. Here's a shot that I believe they score! Saskatchewan with a 16-15 victory. If this one will count.
Church for McIntosh. Matthews, quick stick.
Are you kidding me?
By Dylan Ward. I don't believe what I just saw.
That's the save of the year right there.
With possession, 2 game-winning goals this year. He dips under, looks for another, give off to a teammate. This is Doby. Dane Doby scores! Welcome back, Dane Doby. Take a look at this replay of Dane Doby. Do it to him, Dane.
It's been an exciting season thus far as we're in the midst of Week 15 of the NLL slate. We'll go downstairs to Danny Wexelman to discuss Tunnel to Towers. Danny.
Thank you, Dave. We're celebrating hometown heroes tonight at the Riptide game, and I have Andrew McClure of the Steven Stiller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Andrew, things are booming right now for this foundation. Tell me what's going on right now in your world.
Well, we have gifted in funding or services $250 million to people in need since the foundation's inception, and we're just growing. The need is there, and we're never going to stop supporting our first responders, widows of those who have lost in the war.
Andrew, you're the community partner of our game tonight, and the military is near and dear to my heart. What is in the future for Tunnel to Towers?
Anybody who loses a loved one while working the line of duty, firefighter, police officer, they don't come home that night, we're going to pay off that family's mortgage, every one of them, all throughout the United States.
Andrew, that's just incredible, and we're so happy to have you here and to be celebrating hometown heroes at the Riptide game. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Love to be here. Thank you.
Dave, back to you.
Danny, Andrew, thank you very much. Yes, this one goes out to all the first responders and their families. We echo exactly what Andrew and Danny were talking about there as New York's coming back out onto the floor, part of our NLL Game of the Week action. Thanks so much to the viewers tuning in on Facebook and Instagram, of course on MSG2 and BR Live. You take a look at the updated standings as well. New England has won the last 4. Earlier today in a 1 o'clock face-off, they beat Philadelphia at 9-7. Georgia is just a game out of first place. The Rush are up 6 goals in that game, 6-1 for Saskatchewan. Colorado is a game and a half behind the Rush. San Diego is 2 games back. In the North, it is so tight. You have 2 teams at 7-3 in Toronto and Buffalo. Toronto has won 4 of the last 5. Mitch, 8 teams in the NLL make the playoffs. You have the top 2 seeds in each division plus 2 wild card teams. There's going to be a lot of teams vying for those final 2 spots.
Yeah, you look at the North and the East divisions; those are absolutely neck and neck. And then over in the West, it's still going to be anyone's entry into the playoffs. When you look at this, 6 and 4 is the biggest gap between the wins. So it's going to be an exciting stretch coming down here in these last few months of the season as all these teams are still in it. The Riptide looking to make a statement and continuing to build for the future here in this game tonight.
Goa Abrams in this game, 22 saves on 23 shots. Undoubtedly, Mitch, it has been the best play of Goa Abrams this season as he's come in for Bouquet in the recent stretch.
Yeah, and we heard him with an interview with Danny, and he just talks about you got to be game ready if you're a backup. It's all about taking those reps and maintaining that composure. He's come in, he's played game ready, and he's made some fantastic saves tonight.
Sellers and Woodall on the face-off draw. Now, Alex Woodall is 6 of 6 on face-offs tonight. He's been perfect in the middle for the New York Riptide, and our second half is underway at Nassau Coliseum.
And those are the 2 stats that jumped out to me at halftime. Face-off, 6 or 5-0, and then the power play, 0 for 3 for the Georgia Swarm, who normally score more than half of their tries.
Yep, they came in at 5th in the NLL on the man-ups. Here's Gibson spinning around a player at Joel Wait. That time feeds it off for Longboat, and Poland said no.
Longboat, Coach Thorpe talked about Longboat. He's been in and out of the lineup. They said they need to have him continue to put the ball in the back of the net. That's an opportunity that he's going to want to have back. What a feed there by Tyson Gibson. and then Longboat just isn't able to capitalize, but a huge save there by Mike Poulin.
2-1 game. The last goal scorer was Lyle Thompson, wearing number 4 for Georgia. Stotts right down the middle was a good forecheck there by Ranigan. They get it back with Jackson to the crease, dive again, and Abrams had other thoughts. Goa Abrams again denying Georgia.
And they can only give up so many of those rebounds. They have to pick those up and clean those up, take away the second chance opportunities, because before long, these players like Shane Jackson and Lyle Thompson are going to start finding the back of the net.
Tutton there defensively for Georgia as well at the top. It's McCardle on this right wing. Down low for Lomas. He scores! Dan Lomas makes it a 3-1 game.
Lomas earning his own opportunity there with a huge up pick. I think he might have even looked over his shoulder to see if the ref was going to call a moving pick there. But you can see he sets that pick. Jordan McIntosh is on the ground because Dan Lomas set that, what we call an up pick, running from the bottom up, pressing off of his back and then running towards the cage. Finds that little seam on the inside and then just reaches around Poulin and puts it on that far side. What a finish there by Dan Lomas.
And that's a great look by our crew on that back end there on that up pick. Mitch, take us through that. If those aren't familiar with the up pick there, as it looks like he's around Wiedemann there. Wiedemann went towards the floor, and he had an opening to score. A beautiful feed by McCardle.
Yeah, you got to cut to the middle in this sport to get opportunity, and once you get to the middle, you get defensemen's heads turned, or they're looking at the ball. You can run up, set a hard pick on their back. It's a very, very fine line between what constitutes a moving pick and a pick like that, because he did knock the player off his feet to create that opportunity, but he gets away with that one, gets himself some space, and then capitalizes when he catches the pass.
21st goal for Lomas, the 42nd point. Both team leads were extended in this game. Another opportunity for the New York Riptide to no avail for Saunders there, as they'll get it up the floor to Krepinczak, the defender. He has space on this left-hand side as the offensive players are coming out. It's Thompson in possession here. Thompson with Wagner 1v1. Thompson spins away from him. Got help from Radzowitz. It's Jackson still out there to Stotts at the top, who's been quiet tonight for Georgia. Got the seal there. It's Lyle Thompson spinning past Johnson with a shot. That went wide.
And that was one of those. That went off the crossbar and then hit Abrams in the back. Those can be dangerous because a lot of times that'll hit off the crossbar, hit off the goalie's back, and then trickle in. So nice job by Abrams of moving his body so as it bounces out, it goes wide. See, what an inside roll there by Lyle Thompson. Hits that crossbar, hits Abrams, and then bounces wide.
3-1 game, back to live action. Call off the crossbar yet again towards that corner of the bar. Jones lost it momentarily and regains possession. Long outlet up the floor though to Radzowitz.
And a little bit of a hustle there. You have 8 seconds once you get possession to get it over that midline, so that's why Miles Jones was looking upfield trying to find someone to dish a ball up to that was near the midfield line.
Longboat with the pick at the top here. It's Lomas again with the twister that was denied in front, hit a Georgia player.
I think McCardle might have actually been the save on that one.
Get it back here on the swarm, the low bouncing shot, and Abrams had other plans there to deny Tutton. Now the pace is picking up in this transition game for both sides.
And we've got an arm up. We see Abrams running to the bench. John Ranigan ran through a few checks there. One of those is going to be deemed illegal by the crew. And they're going to have a man advantage here for the first time tonight, the Riptide.
Abrams is off with a 6-on-5. Saunders thought about it over to Kelly. It's picked off there by McIntosh, but New York, as Mitch is suggesting, will go on the first power play this evening. Crew chief for this game again is Chris Williams, working with his crew adjudicating this one. Tarbell's going off on the illegal substitution. So the first power play for the Riptide, they come in at 7th in the league at a 47% rate.
So I was incorrect on that. I thought it was a slash, but apparently it was, they put a player on the field a little bit too fast. Either way, Riptide are up a man.
Power play unit out there for the first time. It's Gibson at the top working with McCardle. Behind the cage it goes. Lomas back to Gibson. McCardle again. Diagonal pass for Kelly. Over to the top, Gibson. On this left-hand side, Kelly, it's wide. A pull-in. How about McCardle in this game with 2 assists? He joined the 20-point club with his 10th assist of the season. A strong game from McCardle.
Yeah, strategic move to move him out of the D door by Coach Thorpe and his staff, and it's really paid off. We see the power play here, Georgia 0 for 3. That is a surprising stat, and one that the Riptide want to keep out of the box so they don't even have to worry about it anymore, and then go 100% on the penalty kill.
There's Georgia shorthanded at the top. It's Williams. Swinging over one man. He's derailed by two. It goes off of Wagner that time. That had to hurt as he limps off, and the ball goes into the crowd behind the benches.
Those are the ones that get you in the meat of the muscle. That'll really slow you down, but it feels a lot better than getting scored on, that's for sure. Nice kick save there. He actually kicked his leg out and made that save.
Under a minute to go in this penalty kill for Georgia. Right past Radzowitz as Jackson spinning away. Bomberry helping out defensively behind the cage. Marking that short end of the post. There is Radzowitz on the forecheck. He'll scoop it up here. Here comes New York on the power play. Radzowitz. The long change will get his power play unit back out there onto the floor. It's McCardle in possession. They have Kelly on the left-hand side with Longboat out there as well. McCardle again for the box defensively for Georgia. Kieran will get it back, the St. John's product. Behind the cage it goes. It wasn't handled by Kelly that time. Gibson picks it up. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock here. Longboat, 2 seconds to go. Gibson has to hurry, stopped by Poland. A good stance there for Georgia. It's a fresh 30 and picked up here by the Swarm, down by 2 goals.
And that one took a weird hop. I think that hit either the post or Poland, so it was a little bit of a backspin, hit off the boards. An unlucky bounce for the Riptide. Lucky bounce there for the Swarm as they get it and the penalty is over.
Yep, Tarbell comes out of the box there. Here's Thompson, even strength. Lyle Thompson amid two. Lost it in stride. He'll get it back here on this right-hand side over to Miller. That was blocked out in front. Thompson gets it back with a fresh 30 here for Georgia. Thompson with a goal tonight has 25 on the season. Look at that double team there. Johnston working beautifully in tandem with Rannigan. And it will stay on this end with Georgia, but we will have a timeout here as it's a 3-1 game. They're not taking the timeout as we're back to live action. They should have took the timeout there, but we play on nonetheless with 8:50 to go in our third. They missed the timeout zone, Mitch. Anyway, here's Lyle Thompson. Thompson has his brother Miles inside. Johnston tried to fend him off. It goes back to the top. Williams on this left-hand side going towards the middle. Rannigan fell down. They couldn't connect on the give and go there with Miles Thompson as it's scooped up by Wagner.
And Blue has been excellent on these loose balls and these rebounds. They've done a great job of swarming. They lost one and that fake timeout that the ref should have called there, but they're doing such a great job of getting those first-time loose balls and getting it up and out of their end. That takes away a lot of second chances when your defense is really tired.
New York in possession, up by 2. Good feed inside and get a good check there on Longboat by Georgia once more. As it goes into the nearby seats, and the owner, Eric Baker, caroms it and gives it to a fan for a lucky souvenir. Now we'll take that timeout. 8 minutes to go in our third quarter. 3-1, New York lead. Back in. In the midst of this third quarter at NYCB Live, and one of the Georgia fans displaying that Lyle Thompson style haircut. That's awesome there, supporting Lyle the Thompson brothers, as this Georgia team, though, is falling 3-1 to the New York Riptide right now. Great to see our fans out there in attendance supporting both teams. Next weekend, the NLL Game of the Week moves to Buffalo, and the Bandits welcome Callum Crawford and the Black Wolves to KeyBank Center. Catch all the action on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. The Thompson brothers have been so instrumental for the game of lacrosse, both indoor and the outdoor game, Mitch.
Yeah, bringing awareness of not just the Native American roots, but the creativity that goes into the way they play the game. It's something that's just something to behold.
Look at Wagner there. It was a great check by Johnston. Trying to scoop it up was Fournier. He could not. Wagner has it nonetheless for New York with 22 seconds to go on the shot clock there. Another breakaway, and New York could not cash in, leading by 2 goals.
But huge opportunity in play there by both Fournier and Wagner to keep that ball in play, making sure they weren't the first player to touch that ball after going through the crease. That's a rule you're not. If you go through the crease, you just can't be the first one to touch it. So something that if you're watching, you see guys running out of there or referees pointing to different players, that's why. Here we see John Wagner coming across. Big save by Poland. You see Fournier try to scoop it up, realizes he's going in the crease. He gets out of the crease, so smart play there by a couple of guys who know what they're doing.
Thompson behind the back went for Bomberry. It fell wide, though, for Georgia. Lyle will get it back towards the top. He's the lone scorer for Ed Como's team. Trying to beat Suter that time. Went high of Miller. Nonetheless, Georgia collects at the top here. Bomberry on this right-hand side. Get it over to Miles Thompson. There's the shot clock violation on Georgia. Such a strong defensive effort tonight. Here by the New York, here's Johnston. Was a 2v1 a moment ago, and Johnston will put on the brakes for New York.
And I'll tell you what, Dave, as a defenseman, there's no better feeling than killing a 30-second shot clock where they don't even get a shot off. That is like the ultimate for a defense, the ultimate compliment, where you can play great defense for 30 full seconds, and they don't even get a sniff at taking a shot.
I'll tell you, Pat Saunders again almost had his second goal tonight. It's been a fabulous debut for Saunders in a Riptide uniform. Had the opening goal this evening for the 11-year vet. Lyle Thompson on the right-hand side, they score! There's the second one right back for Georgia. And they'll get it thanks to Brian Cole. It's a 3-2 game.
Brian Cole, he is welcomed back in their lineup after he had a little bit of time off on the IR. Nothing special here, he just has that time. That's what I was talking about earlier at halftime about flying over those picks. See, Fournier gets kind of caught behind a pick, is unable, you can see, he's just not quite able to get out in that shot. That gives Brian Cole time to look at that, tee it up. See, he tees it up, sees where the holes are, and puts that right under Abrams' hand.
Brian Cole with his 6th goal of the season. Mitch has documented that he's battled injury, come in and out of the lineup this year, and has kept this warm in this one. And you got to give credit as well on the opposite end of the floor for Mike Poland too, even though we've talked about how Goa Abrams has had a successful night to this point.
Yeah, both goalies have been played spectacularly. At the same time, the posts have made quite a few saves for both teams.
McIntosh spinning away, bouncing shot. Handled by Abrams there. McIntosh will get it back and will bounce it over to the other side of the floor. Jackson in possession and Lyle Thompson running middle. But opts to go up top to reset the possession here with Stotts. McRae's all over him. Stotts with some space towards his left. Swim over on this right-hand side. Bouncing up by Jackson. That's blocked in front again by Abrams and company. And a chance the opposite way.
For Radritz's birthday, he gets a swim move and a save by Poulin.
Thought the transition work by Cody there on his 25th birthday. Bomberry on a 2-1 as Sellers there. Brendan Bomberry with a save, and Abrams says no.
What a save. Abrams flashes the leather of the glove. Knocks that down with a big mitt. Up and down transition action.
Yeah, hard to believe it's such a low-scoring game, just given the prior two contests between these two. 13-12 in overtime, a New York win, and then a 14-9 loss in Duluth. Gibson over this right-hand side, had some space, thought about going behind the back. Gibson will tee it up right into Boland's chest. And that will bring us towards a timeout, and it looks like we're going to get a call as well on a slash. We'll hear about that on the other side. 4:32 to go in the third. New York is up 3-2 over Georgia in this game. How about the work by Cody Radzowitz in transition to jet past Noble? But Poulin comes up with a big stop, a timely one for Georgia. Bomberry had a chance. Abrams has been equal to the task. Back at NYCB Live, home of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. It's been a showcase of the two goaltenders tonight, a 3-2 game between New York and Georgia as they split the season series in the midst of Game 15. Welcome to our NLL Game of the Week here on Long Island. Tutton is in the box. It's another power play here, the second tonight for New York. He's in there because of a slash on this left-hand side. Gibson at the top. Kelly with the twister. He scores a power play goal for Connor Kelly, his 15th of the year. It is a 4-2 game.
And they were knocking at the door last power play, but couldn't get a clean look. Here, just simple ball movement, get the defense moving, open up those seams. Kelly gets an opportunity, and Poulin has been dropping down. They've been shooting a lot of low shots, so by shooting that bouncer, that brings it back upstairs as Poulin drops down to save everything low, pops right up over his shoulder.
So New York tonight is 1 for 2. on the man up with 4:14 to go in the third. What a display it's been. And Mitch, we've talked about this all season, about that third quarter seems to be the Achilles heel of this team. So far, what's been your assessment on these second half adjustments from the Riptide?
Yeah, the Riptide, the biggest thing the Riptide probably said at halftime is don't change anything.
Yeah.
And they've stuck to their defensive principles. The key is, can they maintain that intensity and the effort? You get tired in these games, but I think because this is a lower scoring game, you're not getting those stoppages, you're not getting those breaks. They're going to have to keep the pressure up.
Lomas again went for that crossfire pass to Kelly and tipped off a Wiedemann. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock here for New York. And it will go back to Georgia here on the illegal fraction on the Riptide.
Here, Wiedemann, you can see on the replay, in-game replay, Wiedemann screaming at somebody as he runs off. Tension's boiling a little high as the Swarm are frustrated with only 2 goals on the board.
Georgia team is looking for their 7th win, trying to keep pace with New England, who won earlier today against Philadelphia. Stotts on this right-hand side, the shot, and they score! Shane Jackson gets one right back. It's 4-3.
And this is that simple cross-crease ball movement, players moving and cutting through the middle. That's what Coach Dan Lattisaur from the Swarm, their offensive coach, is telling you got to get to the middle, you got to get to the dirty areas. And I think the Riptide up till now have been doing such a good job of keeping players out of that center spot. Here you see Shane Jackson just flies down that gap. Bomberry is left chasing him, and that's all you need if you're number 32 on the Georgia Swarm.
When you watch Shane Jackson, Mitch, it's also the off-ball movement that makes him so impressive. We documented this from the outset that he was putting up hat tricks left and right as Lyle Thompson tried to go low on Abrams, but Shane Jackson's play has just been so consistent as this season has moved along.
Yeah, he's a tough player, a gritty player. He hangs in that low area where he can catch passes and quickly put it 5-hole, put it in those spots where the goalie can't get to quickly. He's just so smart, and he takes a real beating and just gets up and keeps going. And there's Tyson Gibson
on another twister, and it's a 5-3 game as the #1 overall pick in the draft connects here at home.
We're seeing a lot of 5-on-5 goals. Not much transition, both teams limiting it, but just by moving that ball, finding those seams, and now these goalies are starting to get moving, starting to get a little tired as they go in and out towards those shooters. That opens up some gaps and some holes, and when you give a guy like Tyson Gibson that time, just like Shane Jackson on the other end, they're going to bury the biscuit.
Gibson among the rookie leaders in points, shots, and goals. He adds another, and it gives his Riptide a 2-goal lead. You said something that's very important that Reggie Thorpe talked about. It's longevity of his goaltenders from start to finish. They got to keep playing at that high level for a consistent 60 minutes, because that has been a problem going into the second half of games with Bouquet and Abrams.
Yeah, and people watch this sport, they say these goalies don't really move much, but those little micro movements, the small steps, the stepping in, stepping out to address shooters, those take a toll, and as you get going, that can wear you out towards the end of a game, especially these goalies who are making 30, 40, 50 saves a game.
Here's McCardle jetting towards us right behind the back for Lomas. That cross-floor pass, on that diagonal passes. They were looking for Gibson that time. They couldn't connect there. Here comes Georgia in transition with Bomberry. Bomberry has 4 players inside the offensive zone. Brendan Bomberry goes low. Brendan Bomberry scores his first goal of the season. It is 5-4, just like that, a 1-goal game on Long Island.
Right as I mentioned that transition, we see it here, a nice little seal. Jordan McIntosh goes and sets that down seal. Dan Lomas tries to fit through that. You see him immediately go over to the ref and start screaming. He tries to get around that, and there's a little reach around and a grab by number 24, and that's what he was so frustrated about. So nice play by McIntosh of sealing off his man, making that really difficult and opening up that gap for Brendan Bomberry to slide through.
Keep an eye on Goa Abrams and how he does here at this tail end of the third quarter. Also keep in mind, Georgia has not led in this game. It's been all New York. Right now it's a 5-4 game, and Georgia gets it back in possession here with Zed Williams. He's been off the scoring sheet so far, but he had a couple the last time these two met. Cutting inside there behind the back, it went, and wide there from Stotts and company. Fournier collects here for New York. 2 minutes to go in the third.
And that across the face behind the back, Americans, they call that a around the world. The Canadians might call that a turbo. So another fun lax term there.
Saunders. BTB there, over to Kelly. Cross floor pass, they score! Travis Longboat! 6-4!
A snipe by Travis Longboat. Reggie Thorpe said he needs to score more goals. Well, there you go. If you put him in that spot, no goalie is saving that. Those cross floor passes, that's what opens things up, and I don't care who you are, no goalie in any league is saving it when it goes piping in there.
7th goal this year for Longboat. If you go back to the New England game with this team had such a hot start in the first half, in fact, they were up 5-4 this game, Longboat collected his first career hat trick. He's a rookie from Six Nations, Ontario, drafted in the 3rd round in 2014. If you're seeing this New York team for the first time, many of these players are rookies in the box game or to the NLL.
Yeah, as an expansion team, you have limited options. You can pick players up that maybe other teams didn't want through that expansion draft, or you can draft young, and they're going to have to do a mix of both. And I think try to build for the future. Talking to the ownership group, talking to the staff, they know it's going to be a building process. So it's not a short-term plan. And it's interesting, you look at this Swarm team, this process was very similar for them back in 2011 when John Arlotta took over the team. And it didn't really culminate until 2017 when we won the championship. But you look at that team, 15 Georgia Swarm draft picks, and even now they have 15 draft picks, 14 of which were first-round picks.
Here's exactly what you're alluding to. Those 14 players on the current roster selected in the first round of the NLL draft. Look at all those points that they've tallied this year. It's a testament to what Arlotta and Como have built. Mitch, as you have diagrammed there. And how about Philadelphia as well? Last year struggled a bit in the reincarnation of the Wings, and they're doing well in year 2 of the new Philly team.
Yeah, Reggie Thorpe and Paul Day, the GM of that team, they're good friends. They talk every week, and Paul Day says to Reggie, trust the process, trust what you're doing. It's going to work. You just got to buy your time, and it's going to be a couple lumps. And Paul Day did that, and now they're sitting in 2nd, or I guess they just dropped down today to the 3rd, but they're sitting right there in the contention for the East Division.
5 goals were scored in the last 3 minutes plus of the game, 13 seconds to go. Here in the 3rd stanza with New York up by 2. Wagner, the bouncer, over to Lomas with the sniper. Poland said no. Lomas trying to clean up there. McIntosh with an open cage just wide as Abrams came right back on as the horn will sound. Boy, that was almost a costly mistake for New York on the change. But how about that 3rd quarter? It was high scoring, to say the least, for both sides. The New York Riptide getting another there right down the middle thanks to Dan Lomas, and then Georgia getting one right back on this right-hand side thanks to Shane Jackson. The New York Riptide going into the 4th are leading 6-4 over the Georgia Swarm. Riptide season tickets, fan experiences, and single game tickets are now available, plus much more. To purchase, visit NewYorkRiptide.com or call 516-402-3006. 6 goals scored by 6 different players that attest to the depth built by Reggie Thorpe, a long-time playing and coaching career in Rochester, also coaches the U.S. men's indoor team. This U.S. team has been great at the Worlds. As our 4th quarter is underway here on Long Island with New York leading by 2, and we see Mitch Andrew Suter back out there on the floor for New York. He was off for maybe a quarter plus.
Yeah, I think he had gotten back in at some point during the 3rd quarter, but he definitely left at the end of that 2nd with something.
Poland comes up with a stop there on Saunders, who has a goal tonight, making his debut for the New York Riptide. And here's Wiedemann for Georgia. Let's see if Goa Abrams can continue his play between the pipes for New York, searching for their 2nd win of the season. Stotts was running middle, now shifts over to the left-hand side. Here's Jackson. Jackson got past one man there. Now over the top, and they score! It's Zed Williams getting on the board for the first time tonight. Back down to a 1-goal game.
And the way that The yellow team is moving. You can feel a change in their sense of urgency. They realize this is the fourth quarter. That ball movement, that shift, the picks they were setting, they were moving a lot faster than they moved these first 3 quarters. And this is where the Riptide, fourth quarter, they're going to have to get out in those gloves, take away those shots. You see Rannigan is upset with himself after that. Nice little pick down, dead center. Zed Williams, you can't give him that, and you can't give him the underneath. That's like that T that Reggie Thorpe talked about, the low areas and then the dead center, that T, you got to protect that area.
So, like, if we stopped it right there, Mitch, we see all that space right at the top there with Rannigan. Does it feel like the defensive players have to stop that high part of the zone there?
Exactly. So they supported well down low, taking away the underside, but they got to make sure as they support to the middle that they protect that top center shooter.
6-5 New York leading. Georgia back in possession again. Jackson, Crossler pass on this left-hand side. Easy opportunity. Lyle Thompson saved there by Goa Abrams. Here's the outlet to Suter. Back out there on the floor for New York. Man out the front door as well. Suter, that low angle shot there, denied there by Pullen. Almost lost it in his stick. But here comes Georgia on that long outlet here. Rannigan defensively, there's a man, and there's another goal for Brian Cole, who ties it up at 6. First time this game has been tied since it was 0-0. Brian Cole had with his 7th goal of the season.
And that was a near alley-oop. 2 things here. Randy Stats, you can't give him that time to feed, and then on the backside, it looks like it was trying to see who it was, but just got caught ball watching a little bit. Miles Jones trying to help up and provide support. Loses Brian Cole. He thinks, oh, he's out of sight, out of mind, but he's still just above goal line extended and able to sneak that in the back door before Abrams can come across the side.
Sellers and Woodall for the face-off draw. Just like that, a brand new game here at Nassau Coliseum. See if New York can get back, trying to negate this 2-0 run by Georgia. On this left, Gibson with space was looking for Dan Lomas. Possession though salvaged here with 13 to go on the shot clock for New York. Right past Sellers, it's Kelly. Over to the left, Gibson. Gibson trying to get towards that right-hand side. Saunders back to Lomas, and it goes off the bar yet again.
What a handle by Lomas under pressure there. Can't find the back of the net, but only missed by about an inch.
Joel White, one of the defenders, will come out on a change here. See if Georgia can take their first lead in the game. Abrams with the stop there towards his right. Fresh 30 here for Stotts. The top assist man in the NLL, Miller. Left-hand side. Thompson behind the back there. It was Miles to Lyle that time. Stotts trying to clean it up towards the quarter. Kicked out there. Here's the shot. Abrams with the stop there on Lyle Thompson. Stotts regains it. 3rd opportunity on this possession for Georgia.
Both sides are exhausted. Randy Stotts, he just, after he got hit against the boards, he was struggling to get back to his feet. But this is one guy that doesn't seem to get tired. That's number 4, Lyle Thompson. Big save there.
Couldn't finish on the crease dive that time. It's Forday with a chance on the opposite end of the floor. That's a good stick play there on that far end by Leo Storos, and it's a 2v1 here on this side with Tutton. Tutton feeds it on inside. Big hit by Rannigan. Foot was in the crease on Georgia nonetheless. Go back the opposite way with New York.
And that was Brendan Bomberry who went into the crease there. They got lucky that they didn't get a push call there. So big takeaway for New York. Now they got to try to capitalize on this end.
Lomas will get it back on the pick and roll. Denied by Pullen. Saunders gets thwarted that time on the second chance.
And you see hands up going up for all the Riptide players saying, hey, we got to reset. Let's get this 5-on-5. Let's keep working on this offense. Their defense is getting tired. Let's try to capitalize when they're a little sluggish.
Gibson on that screenshot. Pullen had to find it, and he did. 4 goals in the last 6 minutes plus in the game for Georgia. Out of the front door, Lyle Thompson.
And that level of trust, Pullen threw that before Lyle Thompson was on the floor. He just fired that thing in the direction of the bench, expecting that Lyle Thompson was going to come across and be ready for it.
Delayed call coming up here against New York. Lyle Thompson in possession. And here comes the call as he's met by Ethan Schott. And athletic training staff's going to come out here.
Yeah, Miles Thompson was flat on his back there. Glad to see that he's getting up, but he definitely took a hard hit.
Tyson Gibson's going to go to the box as they're checking up on one of the best players in our game in Miles Thompson. 16 goals, 15 assists coming into this one as Tyson Bomberry is going to go into the box. Here's the call.
Listen.
Wow, 5-minute major penalty, Mitch. This is exactly not the recipe that New York wanted to culminate this one.
And Bomberry, he caught him right under the chin. I mean, that's a hard one to argue when the player's helmet. You see, I don't think he meant to. It looks like he got him high in the chest and it slipped up under his chin. But yeah, that's about a worst case scenario in terms of taking a penalty here. Half of the remainder of the game is going to be spent in the box by New York Riptide.
So a chance here for Georgia to take its first lead on the major penalty. And it's a Georgia team that was struggling at the start of this game, was 0 for 3 on power plays on their first 3 man-up opportunities. You have Stotts out there, Jackson, Thompson brothers, one of the most lethal power play units. Cole has 2 goals as well. He's in possession here. Jackson on this right-hand side. McCrae's the closest defender on him. Lyle Thompson over to the left now. They'll feed Jackson. He scores on the power play. And for the first time tonight, Georgia takes the lead. They're up 7-6.
And that's 3 straight for the Georgia Swarm. Shane Jackson finds that little seam, slips in there, and all he needs is one, puts it across, and brings that back short side. Typically, he looks for that 5-hole as the goalie slides over. He actually, you can see he pulls this one all the way back over Abrams' left foot. So he's got the goalie's guessing now, thinking he's going to go 5-hole. It's a shooter's shot.
We talked about that off-ball movement by Shane Jackson collecting his 2nd goal tonight. Now they found that seam right in the middle to beat those 4 defenders that were playing zone there. Trying to keep this as close as they can on the major penalty on Tyson Bomberry, the 10th overall pick. McIntosh will orchestrate this possession here for Georgia, and they're in no rush here. 4:30 to go on the man advantage. Lyle Thompson over to Cole, who has 2 tonight. Back to Lyle. Stop there by Fournier. Let's see if they can get one back short-handed here. Fournier's the help by Dan McCrae on the forecheck. And Wagner will try to kill this one off as long as he can here with the shot clock now at 16. A few of the offensive players back out there. Keep in mind, this is a tough situation here, Mitch. Take us through it here as you have some defensive players out there with offensive players because of the man up.
Yeah, because of, like you said, because they don't necessarily have the time to get the full substitute on. Sometimes you might, especially if you're not going to put a ton of pressure on offensively, you might want to just send your D guys out, let them play a little shift of offense, get their legs back, make sure they're not banging too much, and then they can just drop back and make sure you take away that transition and get into your 5-on-4 spots.
Suter and Ranigan there on the low end of that defensive effort there for the New York Riptide. Lyle Thompson was denied by Abrams, and a chance the opposite way for Radzowitz. Blazing past Miller. Radzowitz went side netting that time. Second time we've seen him do that tonight, Mitch.
Radzowitz, yeah, with the cross-handed shot, brings it across his body, and it almost sneaks through. It gets just past Poulin, but isn't able to get in.
Still a 7-6 Swarm lead. Miller's on this right-hand side. Back to Lyle Thompson behind the back. Behind the cage, it goes back to Miller. Lyles Thompson at the top. They score again on the power play. And it's a 2-goal advantage for Georgia on the road. They lead 8-6.
And that'll bring it back to 5-on-5 after you score 2 goals in a 5-minute. But Bomberry will remain in the box for the remainder of all 5 minutes because basically you need to serve the time for the penalty you've done. But at the same time, it will be 5-on-5 on this faceoff.
And Williams behind the cage, working it around the horn there. for Lyle Thompson, who adds another into his account in the game. New York has been strong in fourth quarters. This year, let's see if they can mount another comeback against Georgia. 26 goal this season, second of the game for Lyle Thompson. As mentioned, a lot of pressure, especially on this Georgia team, as we're in week 15 of the NLL slate, with New England winning their fourth game in a row. Philadelphia just right behind these Georgia Swarm. The top two seeds in each division will make the playoffs, followed by the next two best teams to get the 7 and 8 seeds in the NLL playoffs. All right, Mitch, so the New York Riptide need answers here with 8:35 as they were taking a look at the goal, and we're all good there. Who do you want to see on this offensive end step up here with over 8 minutes to go? Plenty of time in regulation.
Well, Dan Lomas has proved that the fourth quarter is his good friend, and it looks like they're going to get a power play, so they'll get an opportunity to do so, man advantage, and that's a boarding call.
Yes, Wagner went right to the boards just below the Georgia bench. We'll get that call on the floor as a Georgia player is going into the box. Swarm are leading 8-6. We'll be back. Next weekend, the NLL Game of the Week moves to Buffalo as the Bandits welcome Crawford and the Black Wolves to KeyBank Center. Catch all the action on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook starting at 7 Eastern. Our NLL Game of the Week, as Sellers is in the box, finds us in the fourth quarter as Georgia's leading 8-6. Here's why, Mitch.
Yeah, Sellers gives a little check, and then Krepinczak comes in, and yeah, he went down hard. I don't know, they called that for a board. I would understand the frustration on the part of the Georgia Swarm there, but Riptide now have an opportunity to go man up.
On the power play, it's Saunders with his second goal tonight. Back down to a one-goal game, 8-7 the Swarm lead. But how about the debut in a Riptide uniform by Pat Saunders?
That's a great goal. The last three goals coming off the power play. So if both teams can stay out of the box, they might put themselves in a better position here. But a one-goal game with 8 minutes left, this is right where Reggie Thorpe, if you told them this is where they'd be excited about that. An opportunity to grit their way to another hard-fought game.
That quells a 5-1 Georgia run spanning the last 10 minutes. Saunders with 2. Plenty of time to go, 8:14 left in regulation in an 8-7 game. If you recall, last time these two met right here in Nassau Coliseum, it was an overtime game. Let's go downstairs to Danny with more on the Swarm.
When I talked to Mike Poulin earlier this week, he told me that you learn the biggest lessons from your losses, and he knows that the Swarm didn't play a strong fourth quarter last game. They strayed from their game plan. They played reactionary lacrosse. And he told me their team motto, talent is never enough. If will doesn't match your skill, you're never going to win.
Saunders nearly had a hat trick there, Danny. It was good defensive play as well by Krepinczak to aid Poulin. A bouncer on the left-hand side with Georgia up by 1. Fournier hovering over this near side of the crease. Georgia on this left-hand side. Jackson, the low shot. There's Abrams with the stop. McCray with a burst of speed down the length of the floor. On this long change, will get his offensive players out there along with Radzowitz. Radzowitz will come off on the change. Kelly's on this left-hand side. He was marked by 2. Gibson will orchestrate the offense here. Lomas back to Tyson Gibson on the left. Gibson on the jab step, cuts back to the left-hand side. Gibson thought about it, now behind the crease. Tutton all over him. There's that twisting shot. Poulin wasn't full though.
Tried a little wrap around. The nice part about that is if you get that rebound, you get a fresh shot clock. So smart play, understanding the shot clock there. Poulin, nice job trapping that rebound, not giving him more opportunities.
6:45 to go, even strength out there on the floor. Give and go with Thompson. A low one by Zed Williams. He gets his second goal tonight on that give and go. 9-7 Georgia.
And Dave, this is where that two-man game, it gets harder and harder as Georgia continues to execute the two-man game at a high level. You got to fly in and out and in and out, and eventually they find those gaps. Little jab step there. Catches New York flat-footed, and he's able to rip that right around Ethan's shot, use him as a screen, and go Abrams. He's on it, but it's hard to see the ball. That's a tough one.
This Georgia team has scored 4 of the last 5 goals. And 2 goals in the game for Zed Williams, a native of Silver Creek, New York. 17 goals this year. Last year he collected 22, good for 45 points. Player out of Virginia. What I'll offer the face-off there was met by Bullen that time. McIntosh will collect at the center of the floor. They have Wiedemann going up, and he's going to come off here on a change in this 2-goal game with under 6:20 to go in regulation. Brannigan with a cross-check there defensively on Stotts. Was looking for that screen shot, but he couldn't rocket it off. They'll find Jackson on the skip pass. Goa Abrams got just enough. Miles Thompson on this left. Thompson went off of the helmet that time of Jackson. Radzowitz to thwart there. Fournier's met by 2 players, Stotts and Miles Thompson. They break out of it, though, with Cody Radzowitz. It's a 3-on-2 for New York. Radzowitz with steam, went low. Johnston tried to pick it up. He can't get there. It was a good defensive work there by Storos and company for Georgia. Out to Tutton.
And that's Radzowitz's 3rd attempt. He's had not quite clean breakaways, but just enough to give him a sniff there, and almost a rebound opportunity for Scott Johnson.
And nearly picked off by Wagner, the Marquette product. Jackson over to the right. Cross-floor pass, Williams looking for the hat trick. Jackson tried to clean up. It caroms to Lyle Thompson, though, and a fresh 30 for Georgia. Miles Jones on the check there for New York. That's what Lyle Thompson can do. It's those dirty plays, as Reggie Thorpe says, negate Georgia getting to the dirty areas. It's a screen there by Stotts on the rebound. That was fortuitous, on the right place, right time for the Swarm. And Miles Thompson will give Georgia, again, this 2-goal lead.
Little brotherly love there. Lyle with the outside shot bounces perfectly to Miles. He's ready for the rebound. And this is where Ethan's shot, it's tough. You got to immediately chop down and check down on the rebounds. He doesn't find it. And that's easy pickings for Miles Thompson.
Now a 3-goal advantage for the Georgia Swarm, up 10-7 over New York. And the largest lead in the game for Georgia.
And having Woodall such an advantage here. Last time he won the face-off cleanly and took it down, took a shot. I'd like to see him win this and then get it to his offense. Let them continue to work and chip away. They've shown in these tough situations that they're able to chip away a game. So get the ball to your own, let them do their thing.
+6 advantage on the draws, won by Woodall, and New York, one of the top face-off men in the NLL. Not that opportunity, though. Jackson towards the top. Miles Thompson, this left-hand side. He's met by the captain, McCray. Will feed it over to the top now. Jackson went low towards that back post and wide. 4 seconds to go on the shot clock here. Georgia's is going to dump this into the zone. They cannot. Here's Brannigan on the opposite end of the floor. Brannigan was halted there by Noble. And Brannigan, the assistant captain, gets checked there by Tutton.
New York's going to have a power play here as Dan McRae was subbing off. He got blasted by one of the Georgia players coming off.
A roughing call against Georgia. Miles Thompson will serve it. New York will go to the power play. Our final timeout, 4:21 to go, 10-7 Georgia. Lyle Thompson has been strong tonight, which brings us to our Geico play of the game. It's the Lyle Thompson goal that gave this Georgia team, Mitch, a 2-goal lead at 8-6.
Yeah, their power play is so deadly. You give a guy like Shane Jackson that little seam, he's going to take it and he's going to make the most of it. And this is why we saw that 0-3 number earlier in the game, 0 for 3 on the power play. That wasn't going to last if they kept going to the box. That 5-minute major cost them dearly with 2 goals. And now we have a 6-1 fourth quarter. New York is going to have to dig deep, but they've done that before in these fourth quarters.
As good as New York has been this year, and in this game, they have never led more than 2 goals tonight. Top lead was at 6-4. They also had a 5-3 lead. Here they are on the power play. Gibson's at the top here. They have Kelly on this left-hand side here. Saunders with 2 goals tonight. Gibson over to Lomas. Kelly, twister, knocked down in front there. Lomas, spin move, low shot, wide. Longboat was back at that back post there. Kelly trying to collect here 2 seconds. They're just going to have to dump it into the Georgia zone. And there's the shot clock there.
Yeah, most importantly, Tyson Gibson was walking off very gingerly. It looks like he might be holding his arm or his hand. I know he had an early season. He was a little bit banged up. So hopefully he's all right and he'll be back out there for the next opportunity.
Georgia trying to kill off this penalty as they're up by 3 with 3:30 to go in regulation. Williams swimming over Fournier that time, bulldozering his way through, and it's stopped by Abrams.
Zed Williams, people underestimate how strong he is. He has broad shoulders, he bears down, and he has such soft hands, so that's a deadly combination.
New York has tied their season worst, 9 goals allowed in this second half. It was a strong start, even though it was just a 2-1 advantage after the first 30 minutes in the game. Longboat wide. Now the man up here. White collects here for Georgia. Bouncer up ahead here to McIntosh. Checked into the boards there by McCray. They'll get it back. The Riptide. Good pass down the length of the floor. Poland comes up with yet another stop that time to deny Kelly. Noble in possession here for the Swarm.
Connor Kelly, another breakaway, kind of on that wrong side. People underestimate how difficult it is to score on the wrong side with these big goalies. You really need to be able to have that range to reach far side and reach near side. And when you're on the wrong side, you really got to bring that either across your body or hit him with a flat shot.
Wagner, Bazel, Goa Abrams there. Jackson nearly had another into his account of the game. Good work, Wagner. Prevent that goal coming across the line.
And now you'll see Goa Abrams going to the bench as they get an extra attacker on. With 2 minutes left, they got to score goals and they got to score them quickly.
Yep, so the penalty is over here. They're 6 on 5 nonetheless. It was lost momentarily. There's an open cage down the length of the floor. Krepicek tried to pick it up. Georgia trying to get it with Cole. They cannot. Longboat can't cradle it. And an opportunity for the Swarm the opposite way with an open cage. Ranigan has to mark this. He cannot. Another goal for the Georgia Swarm tonight. And it's 11-7 as Randy Stotts gets on the board for the first time this evening.
John Ranigan jumped in, tried to play some keeper. I think he got a big piece of that, but it still trickled through there. That was a bouncing ball that neither team seemed to want to pick up down in that other end. Man, John Ranigan almost for the save of the year there.
Stotts with his 18th goal this season. His 40 assists that came into this game are 3rd in the NLL. And with more on Ranigan, here's Danny.
Another conversation I had with Mike Poulin earlier this week was on John Ranigan, and he said he's the best teammate that he's ever had. He cares so much about everybody else, and though whatever he does doesn't show up on the stat sheet, he obviously stands out, and he just did that trying to make that save, guys.
Abrams is back in the cage, Danny, with his Riptide down by 4. But what has been a terrific first half, and I'll go as far to say the third quarter as well, despite Georgia taking this lead by the New York Riptide at home. A bouncer up ahead by the aforementioned Ranigan over to Tyson Gibson.
Good to see him back out there. Obviously that whack he took wasn't too debilitating.
Play in the middle of the floor by Noble and company for Georgia over to Tutton. I thought Chad Tutton as well in the games that we've seen him play against New York has been strong in all those appearances.
Yeah, and he's really changed his role over the years. Early in his career was much more of a transition threat. Now he's more of a stalwart, stay-at-home D guy using his physicality. He can still push the ball, but as of this year has not scored a goal yet. But definitely just a different role from his time. He tore his Achilles in the first round of the playoffs in our 2017 championship run, so that always takes some time to get back to full strength, even though it's a couple years later. Just a change of role, but still playing really, really well.
Shot is wide there by Lomas. It's held in by Tutton as he'll ice it, if you will, down the length of the floor. And coming up on NLL Post Game Live, highlights and analysis of tonight's game, plus the Geico Plays of the Month. Gibson with a shot there, and it's steered aside again by Poland. And that will do it for the game. What a comeback by the Georgia Swarm tonight. 11-7, they win it over the New York Riptide.
Ultimately, it was the fourth quarter was all Georgia, and that's something that the New York Riptide have really prided themselves in, being able to come back in the fourth quarter. They had the lead heading into it and just weren't able to hold on. A lot of credit to both sides. They fought tooth and nail, low-scoring affair, and then as we picked up down the line, Georgia used their experience, used that high-powered offense to pull away, and it was just too much for the Riptide.
In this fourth quarter, they outscore this New York team 6-1. Among the players that have been fantastic, Lyle Thompson, and how about Brian Cole as well, with 2 goals, was such a trendsetter, along with Mike Pullen, to stick with it throughout this one. We'll step aside and we'll continue with NLL Postgame Live. 11-7, Georgia takes it on Long Island. NLL Postgame Live as Andrew Suter's signing for the New York Faithful here. That's great to see, despite his team falling 11-7 to Georgia. Georgia outscored this New York team 6-1 in the fourth quarter. Let's go down to Danny Wexelman with Pat Saunders on a terrific debut. Danny.
Pat, not the outcome that you all wanted tonight. 2 goals for you in your debut. What does it mean to you to be able to contribute right off the bat?
I think I just come in and, I've been around the league for a long time and just work hard and obviously, try and get some chemistry right away. It was a bonus, but, 2 points with a win's better than, 2 goals.
How do you mentally prepare to come in halfway through the season and be able to do what you did tonight?
I just think, I've been in the league for a long time, so you don't change anything. You just prepare the exact same and just come out and work hard. That's, what at the end of the day you need to do in this league.
What excites you most about being a part of the Riptide?
I just think there's a lot of young talent here, and, every game they're growing. Again, it's an expansion team, but, every game they're getting better, and, we just got to chip in and keep working hard.
2 months off and now you're back at it. What have you been doing to keep yourself ready to get back in action?
Just working hard. I'm a carpenter by trade, so I do a lot of laboring. And then I was playing in the ALL and just, keep my stick going as much as I can.
Well, we're happy to have you and congratulations on your first game.
Thank you.
Dave?
Thanks, Danny, and thank you, Pat Saunders. Congratulations on your debut with the New York Riptide. Let's start, Mitch, when it was 6-6 there. Brian Cole was the trendsetter for Georgia.
Yeah, he scored that goal, and then it was all power play. They had that 5-minute major, which allowed them to score 2 on the power play. You see them there by Jackson and by Thompson, and then it was just too much, too late, as the New York Riptide brought it back a little bit, but then ultimately Georgia, they relied so much on their experience. They make it 9-7, and then they use their superstars, Lyle Thompson, Miles Thompson, working together to score that one, and then putting one away on the empty net to really close things off. And ultimately, they just weren't able to close the deal, the New York Riptide.
So some of the positives, Mitch, that New York can take for this one, they were 2 for 3 on the power play and 3 for 5 on the penalty kills.
Yeah, both improvements there. It was good to see they were actually holding the Swarm to 0 for 3 on the power play, and then ultimately it was that 5-minute major that really cost them as they scored both goals on that penalty.
Brian Cole, the game with 2 goals, along with Lyle Thompson, Zed Williams as well. Pat Saunders with the 2 goals in addition to that. Our final again, 11-7 in favor of Georgia. For our producer, Joel Kate, our statistician is Andrew Murdolo. For Mitch Belisle, Danny Wexelman, and our entire crew, this is Dave Leto saying thanks so much for watching. Join us on Saturday, March 28th at 7:30 when the Riptide hosts the Colorado Mammoth Live on BR Live. Visit NLL.com for an all-access pass to the National Lacrosse League and get the latest news, highlight stories, and more. You've been watching the NLL Game of the Week. 11-7 Georgia takes it. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone.
You have been watching a special presentation of the National Lacrosse League.